So for this whole video, you guys are gonna have to excuse the lack of movement. I started working out like 2 days ago, and it feels like every inch of my body is being tortured on a molecular level. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to get back into fitness, but I am. So even doing it hurts. Even walking around hurts. Anyway, enough about me. We're here to talk about One Piece and Gear 5. Gear 5's finally out. I've literally just finished watching it. It's like 12 o'clock here in the UK. It's come out like a few hours ago, but I don't like to wake up early in the morning to watch it. I've watched it anyway. It's come out and it's out. So what did I think? Almost perfect. Like by the sliver of a bit, it was almost the perfect episode. Maybe I'm making out like it's a sliver when it's not, but like, let me explain. So the episode starts off Gear 5. That's what we wanted. It's feeding us a little appetizer because it doesn't really go into much. It's kind of like Luffy getting to grips with his power, being like, what's going on? Like, I think I lost the fight. What's going on? So he's kind of like stumbling around a bit, which is kind of cool. It made him look a little bit drunk, but I kind of like that. It's kind of like he's drunk off the battle and kind of like he's woken up from this, like, it was quick, but like this quick slumber where he's just like unconscious to like, wait, what's going on? He's kind of confused. And it's really cool. And I really like the scene where they had the like bouncy floor because a lot of people speculated or theorized that Luffy was going to, when he awakened his devil fruit, that his surrounding would just turn into rubber. So it's a really cool homage to do that. But Oda was doing it anyway, so it's probably not an homage. It's probably something that they were doing anyway. But I thought that was really cool. It really brings out the aspect of Luffy can do whatever he wants, bounces off the floor and do whatever. Fine. That was great. I think they did the moon scene really well. And before I keep going, I am not a manga reader. I would like to be a manga reader, but I mean, I watched One Piece up to episode like 700 in the anime. And at that point, I've committed 700 episodes to an anime. I'm not going to convert into the manga. Like, there's just absolutely no way. But I have seen Gear 5 spoilers for a good year now, as I'm sure everyone else has, because that literally broke the internet for a bit. Everyone was talking about it at one point. Anyway, to continue. So anyway, yeah, I saw the moon scene. I compared it to the manga panel, because that was one of the few manga panels that like kept coming up. Like, even if you haven't read the manga, you've seen certain manga panels, like the Gear 5, like, poster boy image. The one that I've got here, actually. This is how much I've been waiting for Gear 5. I've even got a phone case with the Gear 5 thing. That's how much I love the power up. But yeah, the moon scene was one of them. That Gear 5 pose was the other. The one where Luffy grabs Kaido from the thing. Like, anyway, there's a lot of them that have been popping up. Even if you don't read the manga, you've definitely seen them. So I think I've got a fair shot of comparing it. So in comparison, I think they did great. They did a really, really good job of that. Then you kind of had the scene of the five elders talking, which was cool. They did the big reveal. It's the sun god Nika through human type Zoan. But again, that would have been so cool to watch. I wish I kind of hadn't been spoiled. But as I was watching, I was like, I already know this. Show me Luffy fucking Kaido up with Toon Force. But that was cool. And then you had the Komurasaki, not Komurasaki. She's got a different name. Kozuki something. I can't remember her name. Her talking to Orochi, and it was kind of nice to see them finish him off. I hope he's finished off, because I swear he's been killed like twice in the series already, and I don't even know how he's come back. That must have just flown over my head, but anyway, he was still alive. So it's nice to finally see that done with, but I thought that scene, not that I read the manga, but I felt like it dragged a bit too much. Like, I was there to watch Gear 5, and they advertised Gear 5 for this whole thing, so for that to be like a 3-4 minute long scene, I was kind of like, whilst this is cool and I like to see him get fucked up, I'm here for Gear 5. Yeah, it was really weird. But then that kind of went, and then you had the mid-rolls for the episode, and then finally, Gear 5. So Luffy kind of goes like, okay, I know what's going on. I've got this new power. Time to get Kaido. He goes in, grabs Kaido. I think they did that scene really, really well. The bit where he pops his eyes out, beautiful. I think everything was really, really well. And then when they get to the rooftop, Luffy starts doing some Toon Force stuff. He goes muscle, starts punching him. Sees little stars like, Looney Tunes. I'm loving everything. And then we get to the bit where I think the episode lacks a bit. I mean, I thought the Orochi scene lacked a bit, but I'm not gonna. I feel like that was just tying up a loose end, because now we're gonna go into just Gear 5 episodes. I feel like this was just a taster rather than an actual episode. But then we get into the scene where Luffy, the infamous scene where Kaido blast breaths him. He picks up the ground, because Toon Force, and blasts it back at him. Now, I it's weird because I think that scene was edited beautifully, but at the same time, I can't really tell because that scene went so fucking quick. and and one of the things that when people start watching anime, and I don't know why this is a thing, I like to puff my chest out and say, yeah, like I'm used to it. But like whenever people watch anime, because anime can be very quick paced. When you watch a fighting anime, some people who are new to it go, "Oh, I can't keep up with that," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm trained. I watch so many anime fights. I already know what's going on. I've basically got a showering gun at this point." But that fight, I fucking could not tell what was going on for like at least 30 seconds of it. Not the fight in general. I'm saying that one moment where Kaido goes, oh, and then Luffy kind of pops his eyes out. But that was like a half a second clip. And I was like, okay, yeah, he popped his eyes out. And then by the time I register that, something else is happening. And I'm like, what is going on? And then for a second, if I hadn't read the manga, if I hadn't seen that page in the manga, the panel, I would not have guessed that he pulled the ground up and shot it back at Kaido. I was like, what's going on? And then I kind of saw him release the ground, like push the blast breath back. And I was like, oh, that's the scene where he did it. Oh god, I could not keep up with that whatsoever. So I've seen the preview for the next episode, and I'm really, really hopeful because from what the preview looks like, and you could kind of argue that the preview for this episode looked like you could keep up with it, but the preview for the next episode looks like you can fairly keep up with it, and it looks like it's a full-on Gear 5 episode. So I'm really looking forward to that. But as a taster, I think this was great. I think, apart from that one scene, the Komurasaki scene, I'm going to try not to hold that against it, but that one scene where it just went really, really quick, and it was a really cool panel. When I saw the panel, I was like, Luffy could just grab the ground. This is such a cool power. I was like, oh, I wish I could have kept up with that and kind of like known what he was doing a bit better. So that was like a tiny bit of a letdown. But other than that scene, I think the rest of the episode was perfect. It was animated perfectly. It was almost one-to-one with the manga, or when it wasn't one-to-one, I think they did great with it. I just think it was nearly the perfect episode. I feel like that's the one thing that kind of needs to change for the next few episodes, because if it goes at that pace, I can't keep up. I've seen a few people on TikTok, or one person in particular, because I saw one video, complain about it as well. So I was like, okay, it's not just me. I think other people think that was really, really rushed and really, really quick animation. But yeah, I really hope the next few episodes kind of have a bit more slowed down imaging, but still make it look like they're fighting at a really quick pace, because that's the type of things I like to see, is really quick fights that you can kind of keep up with. But yeah, I'm really excited. I don't mean any slander by this. I love One Piece. I have a One Piece tattoo on my leg, and like I said, I've been waiting for this Gear 5 episode for so long. This is one of probably my favorite power-ups in anime. So I'm not slandering it by any chance. I just think that one scene was just a lot for me. Anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next Gear 5 episodes. If you guys are, let me know what you're looking forward to. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Goodbye.